Well,
attacked.
yeah, just, I mean, one word is terrifying. Like it was terrifying. You know, to have somebody come at you with an axe is, you know, a whole nother level of, you know, fear. You know, we're scared of.
Can you imagine that? I mean, this is a Coastal Gaslink employee. And wind the clock back 10 months ago, and you'll remember that there was this bizarro attack on a Coastal Gaslink site in northern BC where some 20 masked intruders came in all wearing white. And we have some
suits.
video.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah,
show
yeah.
this. This is back in the news because there's a new reward that's been put out, $100,000 to identify these people. There were 20 of these masked intruders who came in, kind of went after Coastal Gaslink employees who were in their own vehicles and were recording on cell phone, and did millions of dollars damage in wrecking heavy equipment and flipping it over. And nobody knows who did that.
No one took responsibility.
Nobody took responsibility. Nobody knows. And so Crime Stoppers and a sort of industry group have come up with $100,000 and said, somebody knows who did this.
Right.
Now, activists, because this is controversial, the Wet'suwet'en don't necessarily, some of them support the Coastal Gaslink pipeline, the hereditary chiefs not so much.
Right.
So there are activists who've been, you know, saying, get out of here, and there have been instances of vandalism and
There's been a lot of controversy around this in general.
Somebody knows who did that.
Somebody,
I mean, that's
somebody
crazy.
usually tips off at some point.
That's
10 months
why
is
10 months. That's why it's weird to me that we don't really know. So if you know, reach out to the RCMP. The Wet'suwet'en in general said, we're not okay with people, you know, bringing acts of terrorism and violence to our lands. So there's nobody's winning in
or
this.
reach out to us.
Sure.
Why not?
Steele at checkmedia.ca, Vance at checkmedia.ca.
Join the conversation. There it is.
We want to talk about another Indigenous story that's kind of really cool. So the Matthew Begbie Elementary School in East Vancouver has been renamed a Musqueam name, which is very interesting, and it's all in the name of reconciliation. And I would like to tell you how you say that, but I do not know how to pronounce it. And when asked... Well, that's pretty good. When asked about, could you give us a pronouncer, the Musqueam said, no, we don't want to do the pronouncer, but we want you to listen. So listen and tell us if you can say this.
Wakwanis Tehiakwam. Wakwanis Tehiakwam.
Wakwanis Tehiakwam.
Wakwanis Tehiakwam.
See, that's pretty good. Wakwanis, I can get the first one, and what that actually means is...
Thank you, Elder Larry Graham. Was it Larry? Larry Graham, thank you.
It means sun rising over the horizon. And all I have to say about this is I think it's wonderful, and I think it is in a spirit of reconciliation, and I'm completely great with renaming things in the spirit of reconciliation in an Indigenous, you know, in a way that suits
honors
their culture and honors their culture.
Yes.
But the problem is, do you remember when they renamed the Vancouver Art Gallery North Plaza
that no one
and
ever
the Queen
uses?
Elizabeth Plaza?
No one ever
It was like, great idea, but nobody knows how to say it. Right. So how do we get around that?
I think that conversations like this definitely help. And I also think that we shouldn't get too caught up with having to use the accent that we hear from that elder. You know, if you asked my grandmother where she was born, she would tell you Copenhagen. And that's Copenhagen. And if you asked my grandfather where he was born, he'd say Dubrovnik. And we call it Dubrovnik.
Right.
So how do we learn to say what that elder said in a way that we can consume it? And I did some work for Al Jazeera English up in Kamloops. And over the course of a couple of days of covering the Prime Minister's visit there, I got better at saying...
It's just that when you look at these particular languages, there's often using, you know... exclamation marks, not
we got over the umlaut in Germans, though. Like we got over the O with the dash through it in Danish. We can get past it.
I just want to be educated.
Right. So let's have somebody on and they can help us.
Okay.
We should do that.
When we come back, who's excited about World Cup soccer?
Me. Who's not?
Me.
I'm going to educate her next.
Yeah, well, okay, whatever.
Come
we'll
back.
Talk about that next.